your children. When you are leaving home, you left them at home, 5 of them putting on green. Eh? Now somebody calls you from work and say, somebody has entered in your house putting on a red jersey with a gun and a panga. He's going to kill your children. You rush to save your children. When you open the door, you are seeing 6 children all putting on green. Because it mutates. That's what they call mutating. It changes color. It changes the way it looks. It changes the way it attacks. Unlike other viruses. That's why when you send ARVs to attack it, it will detect ARV coming and it try to do that. To dodge it, because ARV is coming with an instruction. Go and attack HIV in green. Are we together? So ARVs will enter the body and then you will find it in blue. The instruction is the enemy is in what? Green. Because the minute you disobey the order, you are likely to kill something you are not supposed to kill. Are we together? You know that your children are in green. So everybody in green you think is your, but you are seeing they are 6 and yet you know they are. What do you do? So that is the challenge the researchers are facing right now. They are trying to identify, using different techniques, to overcome this problem of mutating, the virus mutating. Are we together? The mutations. That is the biggest reason as to why HIV cannot be cured. Because you will bring an intervention to attack it. When that intervention is put in the body, the virus will change the color and the place. But your instruction, the medication you are sending in, the instruction is HIV is in red. But ARVs will find green. Are we together? Another simple example I want to give you is that you have a beautiful cupboard with very expensive cups. Are we together? But the snake enters that cupboard. Are we together? But you don't want to break your cups. And you are seeing the snake. You have a very big stick. You want to beat the snake. Do you just beat the snakes and destroy the cups? No. You don't. That is the challenge. The virus will come and go in the liver of a person. Do you just send toxic whatever to kill everything, including HIV? No, the person will die. So they have to be a little bit careful. Are we together? Okay, quickly we are going in the panel discussion. So those are some of the reasons why the virus is so difficult to be. Now, the places where HIV hides is called the reservoirs. Quickly. You know, we take medications. And when you test me, you might not find the virus in my body. Because the ARVs can chase it away from my blood. And then the virus hides in the place called reservoirs. Are we together? So when it hides there, it hides there. And these ARVs we take every day cannot reach there. So the researchers are using different methods to cure HIV. They are saying, if ARVs can chase the virus from the blood, so that you can have a negative baby, so that you can stop transferring the virus to others, and it's hiding in the reservoirs, why don't we create an intervention that shocks the virus from where it is hiding to come back in the blood where ARVs can attack it? That's method number 1 they are trying to use to cure HIV. It is called shock and kill. Shock the enemy from the hiding place so that it can come back in the blood to be killed by ARVs and the broadly neutralizing antibody. Isn't it amazing? And now the challenge they have realized that actually to shock that enemy from the hiding places, you need to use a drug called latent reversing agent. So at this stage, they are trying to find out, they have discovered several of them, they're trying to test to see which one works best. So if it turns out to be successful in the future, we are likely to first take ARVs, become undetectable, and we are given that to shock the virus from those hiding places, the reservoirs, so that it can come back. She's dancing. So other researchers are saying, no, instead of shocking the virus from where it is hiding, why don't you just identify that place where it is hiding and just lock the place? Just block the place and lock it. Is that the second method they are using? Block and lock the place. The first method is call it out and you kill it. But instead of calling it out, just block and lock it there forever so that it does not come back to make problems. Another method they are using is called gene therapy. Let's go. Hey, this block and lock, we are done. Let's go quickly. Cell and gene therapy. This is some kind of research happening in my country, Uganda. You know, HIV attacks your immune system, isn't it? And makes it deficient. So some researchers are saying, okay, if that is the problem, we can cure HIV by repairing that person's immune system. Are we together? Because HIV attacks your immune system and makes it deficient, isn't it? By making it deficient, it means it is no longer performing. It cannot help you to defend your body. Are we together? So they are saying with gene therapy, let's periodically repair your immune system and it comes back to normal state so that it can fight HIV. Because they know when you get HIV today, you don't fall sick tomorrow. You get HIV today and spend like 2 years without falling sick, which means your immune system is the one fighting. But there is a time it reaches and it gets overpowered. If that is the case, periodically you just need to repair your immune system. So gene therapy simply means repairing the immune system of the person so that it can be able to attack HIV. You don't have medications every day. But stem cell transplant is not gene therapy. Stem cell transplant means don't repair his immune system. Just remove everything out of his body and throw it away. And then get somebody's good immune system which can fight HIV and put it in that person. So the first person cured of HIV, that is the method they used. They got somebody with an immune system that is resistant to HIV. That does not allow HIV to cause chaos. They got it from him and gave it to this guy. And he was cured. But the challenge with this method, for this person to be given that immune system of another person, you must completely remove his immune system. Because if that new immune system finds this man's immune system, they are going to collide inside. So to remove everything out of his body so that you can replace, what do? You use chemotherapy, the cancer drugs that knock you down. And that's why we are saying it is not a safe method. It's possible, but it's very dangerous. Okay. Quickly, I want to invite amazing speakers, panelists to come and join me. Allow me to invite one of our amazing doctors in the continent, Dr. Tumbi Ndungu. Can you put your hands together for Dr. Tumbi Ndungu? Wow. So if you are looking for amazing researchers around HIV cure, Dr. Tumbi Ndungu from South Africa. He has done amazing work. Allow me to invite champion Daniela Campbell from United States of America. Wow. From USA. Allow me to invite Charlene Byakusenge. Yeah, a fellow champion and fighter in Rwanda. You're most welcome. Fellow fighter like me. Wow. Okay, that's amazing. Allow me to invite beautiful Alicia Tromo from United States of America. Hey, she looks cute, eh? Yeah, okay. Okay, allow me to invite Comrade Afazari, Jean Lawrence. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Can you take charge of that? Because I've not understood it clearly. Okay, we are going to pause our panel a little bit. That's his new instruction.
Yes, thank you very much. We need to recognize the arrival and the time for Dr. Lewis. Okay, if she's okay, then we continue. Thank you very much.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, amazing. Just allow me to first give the chance to a colleague, Byakusenga from Rwanda. Did you give them the microphone, please? Please bring the microphone. Okay, they are there. Okay, several microphones. Byakusenga, as a fellow fighter, why do you really think we should have an HIV cure, according to your knowledge? Why do you think the cure is important?
Thank you. My name is Byakusenga Sharon, a young woman born with HIV. I actually older than you in HIV because I am 32 years old and I was born with it.
Yeah. I'm 31 living with HIV, yeah. You are 32. Yeah, actually you are older than me.
I'm 1 year older than you.
That's amazing.
HIV cure is very, very important because as I am a woman, I have to give a birth to my child. I already have 3 children, but if...
Wow! 3 children?
Thank you. I have 3 children with 0 HIV through PMTCT program. But think about that when there is a country without PMTCT empowered or developed, that women, they don't have a chance to get a baby. And also, by chance, I am married, but think about the youth who are still single. They fear to be married. When you met with a guy and told him that I'm HIV positive, I think like you are an animal.
So you want the cure so that you can have that freedom?
I want cure so that I can live safely in this community.
Thank you so much. Wow, wow. Put your hands together. Daniela, my boss.
Your
Daniela,
boss?
my boss.
I don't think so.
America.
Yes. Oh my God.
Take us through the kind of research happening in America, your country.
I feel like I'm
Is research also in America or is just in Africa?
So I think there is HIV cure research being conducted around the globe, and this is why I'd hope to receive acknowledgement from distinguished scientists like Dr. Sharon Lewin, who is a woman in the work leading, right? This room is filled with women, and she serves as an inspiration to us all, as is what's possible in HIV when women lead. That is one. The second thing is that HIV cure is being conducted, or HIV cure research is being conducted around the globe. However, there are disparities in where the research is conducted in contradiction to where the burden of HIV exists. So this conversation, Stronger Together, is so very critically serves as a turning point in conversations around equity. HIV cure research should be happening here where the burden is. Those of us who are most disproportionately affected should be at the front of the line when it comes for a cure, not the other way around.
Wow, thank you so much. Dr. Tumbi. I had some myth and misconception that all the research that we are doing around cure is influenced by the foreigners in Africa. How true is that? And how do we have plans to reverse the trends if the myth and misconceptions are true?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Supercharger. I don't know who these people are who are saying that it is influenced by outsiders. What I can tell you is that maybe I should tell you a story about what has happened to me since I've been involved in HIV cure research, in particular the fresh clinical trial, as most of you know, that tested a cure in young women in South Africa. And when I presented those results in Croy in March, I can tell you that almost every single day I have received an email, mostly from African people living with HIV, asking me, how can I get access to this medication that you talked about?
The fresh medication.
A lot of them saying they are also praying for me so that we can find a cure. So these are not people from America, these are not Europeans, these are people from Africa living with HIV, saying that they would like to have a cure. Unfortunately, I have to keep telling them that we don't have a cure yet, and that the product that we tested in South Africa will not be going forward because it is not effective enough to be a cure. But I keep telling them, and I keep responding to them and saying, please keep going, don't give up hope. We must continue in this journey, not for Americans, not for Europeans, but for ourselves here in Africa. And I'm so excited to see a lot of young people here. And what I keep saying to people, and what I keep telling people is that a lot of the medications that we take for HIV and for other diseases here in Africa, they come from Europe or from America or from other places. Why can't it be that we develop something here in Africa? Supercharger said that maybe one day we will have maybe a German doctor come and say that you have a cure. They have a cure for HIV. Why can't a Ugandan doctor one day stand up and say, I have a cure for HIV? Why can't it be Dhombe Dongo one day who stands up?
Maybe it will be.
Why can't it be one of the young people here that is in the audience that wants to do science, who stands up maybe 5 years from now, we don't know, or 10 years from now, or however long it is going to take, and say, I'm an African doctor, I'm an African scientist, and I have a solution for this problem. So what I'm saying is, this is predominantly an African problem. The people who need a solution are Africans, and we as Africans must be at the forefront of that effort. Yes, we don't do it alone, we work with other people, but we must never let others take the lead. We must also be in the fight together with them. And no matter where the solution ends up coming from, we must be part of that solution.
Wow. Alicia.
Yes, yes.
Alicia.
Yes.
Assuming there is an announcement by Dr. Tumbi that he has discovered a cure of HIV, will you be the first one on the line tomorrow when he's giving out the cure?
No.
And if yes, why? If no, why?
So, no, I would not. And that is coming from a BIPOC black woman who is 55 years old and who is from the United States of America. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I'll start over. My answer would be no. I've been living with HIV for 30 plus years, right? And my answer would be no, not because I don't want a cure. It's because I wouldn't want to be in the first round of people from the first round of cure. Kind of like when COVID came out, I don't know how it was in Africa, but in America, people were not rushing to get the vaccination. There's a lot of mistrust and misunderstanding in our country about taking anything. So for me, if a cure comes out, I would want to be a part of the 4th round. I mean, you was talking about that supercharger? The rounds, not 1, 2, 3, baby. I want to be in number 4 because then I know without a doubt they done worked out the kinks out.
I like that.
And I won't be hurt in the process of their learning and being the guinea pig and learning how what works and what doesn't work. But that's just me. And that's the thing. Everyone has a different take on it. And some people in America, if you would believe this or not, don't want a cure. And you want to know why that is? Because everything they get to survive comes from them having a diagnosis. They get their medication, they get food stamps, they get everything, they get housing because of their condition. You think they're going to run to a cure and lose all their survival tactics? No.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Afazal, we are going Jean, Afazal.
Yes.
My brother.
Yeah.
For us in Africa, you know, everyone almost is excited about this intervention.
Yes.
Everywhere you go, everybody wants a cure. What communication tools should we use to help our people understand the thing we are talking about? For instance, the reason why people are not taking antiretroviral therapy correctly now because we are never involved in its research, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Western countries just dropped the drugs. For us, we didn't participate in their research. That's why it came and we are confused. It took us 15 years just to understand it. That's why you have so many resistances. To avoid that, on this one we are saying, we must educate our people before the cure comes.
Yes.
So that it comes when everybody knows. I want to know what method can we use, the tools can we use to get this message to the person in Rwanda, down there in the village, understand.
Yes, thank you very much, Supercharger, for your question. It is very, very important to tell those people what is happening now, because the conference has started. We are going to spend almost like a week talking about this, finding the cure for HIV. And as you said, we have to inform them before the cure is allowed. We have to inform them that we are no longer going to take the pills until we die, but we are going to take the pills until the cure is allowed. He's going to ask me, where is the cure? I will tell him, there are so many people, scientists, who are finding the cure. Saying science is a very huge thing. We as people have done many things. They are doing robotics, they are doing many things which are strong, and those things you see all over the world, it is like a drop in a sea in science. This indicates what? HIV cure is available. So as a people, we have to inform our people before the cure and after the cure. Your question is this: when the cure is there, when the cure is found, how are we going to reach on those people? Firstly, we have to inform them using the media. Media is the first thing which is interesting. After using the media, people are going to be excited. They will be amazed and say, is it true or it's lies? And we are going to fight and look what we can do using youth. The people who are strong, they are going to work very strong. They learn around there in the villages, in the sectors, and they are going to inform their colleagues, their neighbors, what is found as the cure. And they are going to celebrate by knowing that they have found the cure for HIV. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We're going to pause our panel for 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm Mark, and I really want to acknowledge Sharon Lewin for coming and taking time out of her busy schedule. She's working on, I think, a very unique strategy of waking up the reservoir, as Moses was talking about. HIV resides in cells, and If it's not making virus, it becomes a problem because it's not recognized as being foreign. So she's working on a unique way of waking that up, and I would like her, if she could, speak a few moments about that. And thank you so much, Sharon.
She also holds a very prestigious role within the International AIDS Society, the conference that we are all attending this week. Within an MDC Cure Collaboratory, she might be tiny in stature, but she is powerful in her work in Cure. Powerful.
Thank you, Danielle, and thanks, Mark. I don't know if that's on. It's on, yes. And wow, what a great lineup it's been. I've loved listening to Moses Supercharger telling the story of Cure science with such great energy. And I think it's been great hearing everyone's perspective of why we need a cure. People that might not want to take it up, I loved hearing about that. And Tumbi's call to action for Africa to be leading in a cure, also very inspiring, and why we at the IAS wanted so much to hold the meeting here in Kigali and Rwanda. And today at the Cure Symposium, we really spoke about all the different things that come into understanding why we don't have a cure, which goes way beyond some of the things that Moses talked to you about, and so many different things that are happening here in Africa that we need to understand. But Mark wanted me to talk about my work, and I'm going to just tell you about it really briefly. I don't want to talk about it for too long, because scientists like me and Mark are really excited about it, but we're still a really long way away from the clinic. And I had a very similar experience to Tumbi, that after we published this work, so it was published in a very prestigious journal about a month ago, and I too have had constant emails from people from Brazil to China to Africa to across Australia asking, for the cure. And so I've been struggling a bit in how to respond, because I do want people to stay hopeful. I do want people to stay on their meds. I do want people to understand the science too, because when we do have something to deliver, we want people to understand how it all works. So I've had exactly the same challenges as Tumbi, and I've been thinking how we can do our work better so this doesn't happen. But so very, very briefly, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but we've been using, so all of you know about mRNA as a vaccine. Who had mRNA vaccines in this room? Okay, so not many people in Africa had an mRNA vaccine, some. So when you had your mRNA, so mRNA is basically just a recipe book. So it basically is a recipe that tells your body to do something it wasn't doing before. And so in a COVID vaccine, the recipe was to give a little piece of the virus into your muscle to tell your immune system to respond and make antibodies to the virus. So when you saw the real virus, your immune system was ready to go. That's how a vaccine works. So we've been using mRNA as a recipe to tell the virus to wake up. And it's a little bit more complicated when you use it as opposed to a vaccine, because you have to get the mRNA to the reservoir. And so we invented, when you give in a vaccine, when you give the mRNA, it's wrapped in a fat bubble to protect it. So we invented a special fat bubble. You'll have to incorporate this into your slides, Moses, that actually delivered the recipe to the reservoir, to the T cell. And that's what we were really excited about, because you can basically make mRNA make any sort of recipe you want. So we've just used it to wake up the virus, and we did it in a way that only HIV can respond to the instructions, as opposed to the rest of the cell. But it's only in a test tube model so far. And next step will be to do it in animal models. And then the next step, we hope, can be in clinical trials. But we face a lot of problems, and that's because mRNA is starting to get a bad reputation. And I don't understand why, because there's no reason it should have a bad reputation from my perspective as a scientist. I think it's going to give us all these new ways of tackling really serious problems that we haven't been able to tackle before. So we're going to have to do a lot of education about mRNA, because in my country, in Australia, mRNA, when it came along as a vaccine, and I think for many other countries, it was really a saviour for COVID. But that's all been turned on its head in a world of misinformation. So mRNA as a therapeutic, not as a vaccine, is going to open up a whole new area of different medicines. So Moses, we're going to have to do some work on teaching about, you need to do a song around mRNA, okay? Only 4 letters, very easy. So that's what I'm working on. And hopefully in a few years I can come back and tell you how that mRNA is working inside first animal models, and then hopefully one day an mRNA for a cure. So thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sharon Lewin. Before Dr. Sharon leaves, if you allow, we call upon Dr. Dio and the representative of the WHO, Dr. Mhundu, to come forward so that we recognize the contribution of Dr. Sharon in HIV response. With your applause, please.
People taking pictures, where are you? I need that picture. That's cool.
Chairperson, other people's chairperson, please come to the picture.
Yeah, my boss. She's my boss here. Eh? My boss join. Yeah.
Amashiranya lihehe.
Wow.
They want to open the recognition.
What is it? What is it?
What is it?
I'm anxious. Wow! Obugalo! Woo! Yeah. Got it. Beautiful. Beautiful.
The meaning of Magaseche, this is a basket. Mironan culture means a secret. So your secrets are inside. There's a lot of secrets that
Sharon. Thank you so much, Dr. Sharon. We are going to the second round of the panel discussion. Kambo, my boss. You know, we are very excited with this cure research. If you happen to meet somebody who is going to join this cure research tomorrow, you also want it, assuming you also want it badly. What are some of the advices you will give this person who is joining the cure?
Oh, I think that's a really great question.
Yeah.
So before you sign on the dotted line as a part of an informed consent process, you want to know a little bit more about who's conducting the study. Who's the researcher? What institution? What history do they have with conducting these types of studies? Who's funding the study, so that you can understand what background interests may be afoot? Ask about patient advocacy, community advisory boards, so that you can talk to community advocates on the ground. I would also encourage people who are maybe contemplating joining cure studies to reach out to advocates like us who know a tremendous amount of the science. Folks like Moses who are on the ground here working to lead the charge in educating our African compatriots about what HIV cure research looks like. So a couple things. Remember to avail yourself of the knowledge about who is conducting the study, what may be some ancillary interests, why the study is being conducted at that site and any other sites, what incentives or beneficiaries you may receive as a result of participating in that study, and most important, what are some of the potential impacts of participating in that study on your health? What are some of the potential impacts of your participating in that study on your health?
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Dr. Tumbi, as a community today we decide this discussion is not going to be too scientific. As a doctor doing cure research, can you let us know some of the challenges that that kind of business is facing in Africa and what needs to be done, so that if we have voices, we can take them to the people who are concerned? What are your challenges facing this cure research work?
Wow, that's a very big question, Supercharger. I think there's a lot of challenges in HIV cure research in Africa. First of all, we don't have many centers that can do this kind of work. It's only a few specialized centers that can do this kind of work. And I think that's a problem, because it means that only a few studies can be done, and we need to move faster if you are going to get a cure. So we need investment in clinical centers, in good laboratories that can assess people, and that means we need money. We need resources. And one of the challenges that I see is that a lot of the money that we have at the moment for doing this kind of work is coming from outside the continent.
It's coming from outside.
It's coming from outside the continent, unfortunately. And our governments have not really committed a lot of money to this effort. There are some governments that are doing quite a lot, and there are even some governments that are giving money to local researchers. I know, for example, one